When Granddaddy got started doing this trade, how did he learn this trade?
Strapped himself in the machine and went on every day at 12 o'clock. Nobody didn't learn, we learned himself.
The thing about this trade, I believe in, you can sit at the tables with the doctors and the lawyers and multi-billionaires and stuff because they need you to do this because they want it done. Do you think I'm better than you?
Well, I think about that sometimes. I had 4 chances in my life. I loved it, but I lost it.
Come on. Salute. My crib, I'm standing on principle. I'm standing on business. That check on the way and I'ma go get it. Respect is the only way.
My name is DeVaris Williams. I'm 36 years old. I've been doing floor contracting for over 15 years.
My name is Clarence O'Neal Williams, and I'm a self-contractor, and I've been doing hardwood floors for 63 years.
I want to take this time to, talk to my dad about, how we got started with this floor contracting for our sanding hardwood floors, installing hardwood floors. One of the things about this trade is it's not an easy trade. It's a lot of people that don't do this trade, but we wanted the guys that do this. So I want to talk to my dad how we got started with this. So when Granddaddy got started doing this trade of sanding hardwood floors, how did he go about getting started? How did he learn this trade?
Well, I had to go with him every day. He didn't have no help. And I kept going with him. I didn't want to go. And my mom said, you better go with him and learn something, son. So that's how I went. That's how I started. And it just kept going, and I learned the trade.
Gotcha. So it was a while before you took it on because I know you left. I know you learned it at a young age, but then you ended up leaving, going to Boston for a little while. And then when you came back, that's when you got back into it. So what made you want to get back into doing this?
Well, I loved it after I had to go, and it got better and better. So the work just started coming, and I started loving it, and I started going, and that's how I ended up so many years in it.
Right. So what did you like about it the most? What enthused you? What was your aspiration? What motivated you?
When you get through and look at it, and it looks so good, then and you get it do something to you. It motivates you to want to go do this one and do that one, and you just keep on going, and everybody enjoy it. They give you pat on the back saying, "Hey man, you did a good job. I don't know nobody can do that but you."
Right.
And and I got a thrill out of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, when Granddad learned this trade and he taught it you, how did he learn this trade?
Well, every day he stole it. Really, every day he wouldn't take no lunch. These guys used to be sanding every day, and my father and them were building houses, so the machine was right there when they leave, and there was an hour they took every day. So he learned on that machine every day. He'd go down the same spot they do, and when they come back, they couldn't tell it where he went.
Right.
So he learned it, and everybody say, "All right, you can't do no floors over here." Right. He said, "You want to bet?" And they give it to him. They do it, and he did the whole room.
Right.
And it was surprising.
And it took off.
It took off. Yeah. Nobody didn't learn. We learned himself because he had seen them guys do it so much. And he got in the machine, strapped himself in the machine, and went on every day at 12 o'clock.
Gotcha. So one of the things I want to ask, because when I was coming up, one of the things me and Willie used to go help you all the time, but it wasn't, we used to go help you. We didn't do nothing. And I can remember being 4 and 5 years old going with you because I used to go with Granddaddy too. Because during that time, Willie used to go to he was in school.
Yeah.
So I was still I wasn't even in pre-K, and I used to go with you guys, and then we'll go do floors, and then at a certain time around lunchtime, I think you used to take Granddaddy to the soup kitchen. I'm not sure if that's where he wanted to go or whatever, but I think that's why I used to take him because that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And so and then he always got his tea, the soup and the tea, and then we'll go work on the house or whatever after then. And one of the things that I remember coming up, it was always, you never forced it on us. It was just like we used to go and we'll just sweep up. Right. And then when we got through sweeping up, me and him, we'll go play, or even if some of the the clients that you had, if they had kids, we'll go play with them or whatever. You ain't never really bother us about doing it, except for we were there, we just sweep up, clean up, put the stuff back up, when we got through with the job. So why you never forced it on us?
No. One thing about it, I didn't want y'all to. I didn't want y'all to do nothing y'all didn't want to do. And if you don't want to do it, it's kind of hard because I would have to watch you and do the work, and I didn't want you to get hurt.
Right.
And I didn't want nobody to get hurt. You are you, and I noticed you would try to do a little something like you really want an edge. And I say, man, you can't do that machine. It'll hurt you to get away. You didn't never believe that. I know you didn't because you weren't afraid of it. And one day I seen you really wanted to get in the machine, want me to tie you in, buckle you up in the machine so you can take off.
Right, the big machine.
Yeah, the big machine.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you stay on the edge. You stay on the edge of what you're doing because you do a little and I get you off, and because I want your mama will kill me. That's what I was scared of. And I looked around, you got in that machine, and you took off, and I was still scared because I know my wife. I mean, she was going to get me. She was going to get me about you. And I looked around, and you had learned more than I thought you had.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that when it came to like the big machine, you would never let me use it because the cords wasn't right.
Right.
Like a lot of it was taped up.
Yeah.
And you didn't want me to get hit by that 220 because when you get hit by that 220, sometimes it ain't no coming back.
Right.
And so when I bought my first machine, it was like I had held the cord for you so much. Like I in my mind, I already anticipated everything. I anticipated that when you take it, when you drop it, when you pull it back up, boom. And then if you dropped it before you went to the end, you went back and you picked it back up, so you didn't leave the indentation.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't understand. Like when you sand in the floors, when you leave the dents in the floors, it show off when you stain and you varnish. Right. And it makes a big difference.
Right. You got to get that out. Yeah. You can't have that. That's a no-no. And that's the first thing that people's going to see. I don't care. Their eyes going to go on that dent and the other dent and the other dent, and they're going to say, hey, what that is? You got to explain it. You can't explain it.
Right.
And they're going to be rough on you. They don't want you to do their flows.
Right.
Now they say, no, he don't know what he's doing. Right away, they're going to say that because, man, them ladies, they picked it up. Right. I mean, they pick it up. Time they walk in the door, you can't shame that out.
Right.
It'll show up on you.
Right.
So that's what make a good sounder. That's what make a good sounder.
Gotcha. So where, like with me and my career and where I'm at, how far ahead or how good you think I am with it?
See how good what?
I said where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And me knowing everything I know how to do, as far as in that trade of being a floor country, as far as sanding the floor, because I believe anybody can install. A blind man can install if you give him the pattern to do it.
That's right.
But when it comes to that floor, when it comes to sanding, it's a whole different ball game. And I take pride in it because everybody can't do it.
Everybody can't do that. They might try, and they might look at it like they can until they get it.
Right.
And then they'll start. That flow will make you run, go get somebody to help you.
Right.
That know what they're doing. And that's what happened with the flows. And it's not an easy job. It's a hard job. And it ain't nothing to play with. But if you know what you're doing, you can glide on through. Glide on through it. But you got to know what you're doing, and you got to get, as a teacher, got to teach you. It ain't playing. You can't just grab that and go with it and run. No way. That's why it's not a lot of flow sounders.
No, it's not.
It's not a lot of flow sounders.
I joke about it all the time. I tell people, look up 5 people that know how to do this.
Yeah, right. You can't do it.
You can't find it. Yeah.
It ain't there. And it never was there like that. It always was scattered. You know, they were scattered, and it wasn't many. And they say, O'Neal, you have a good trade, and I admire you for it, you know. And he used to just say thank you. And I have had lawyers, Converse Bright, all them boys.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they get on me, they say, I wish I could walk behind that machine like you do. I say, no. I wish I could get in that desk where you at.
Yeah.
And no hard work. But he say, I admire you. And he invited me to his house. I come out at that farm and don't say nothing, and he knew who I am and everything.
Mm-hmm.
On the counter, I could stand. He loved it for me to how I sanded his flows, his house.
Right. See, one thing about this trade I believe in, and me taking it to another level, is with this trade, this craft, you sit at tables with people that's higher up because of something they can't do, something they don't understand,
Right?
Ain't willing to put in the time for.
Yeah.
And you can sit at the tables with the doctors and the lawyers and multi-billionaires and stuff because they need you to do this because they want it done.
That's right.
And it ain't nothing like doing a house when you meet a guy and he was like, hey, you'll come out and measure this floor out for us, and you know, my wife want this did or whatever, and then you go in there and you make the house perfect for them, and his wife happy, man, that joker happy.
He happy too.
Yeah, because he couldn't do this for his wife.
No,
but you did this for his wife, and she's happy, and now he's happy. Yeah, he happy to pay you and tip you.
Yeah,
you know,
he happy for her.
Yeah,
and he happy for that work, and he admire you, and he don't care about paying.
Yeah,
for her. That's right.
Yeah.
Now you remember we did a lawyer of whole house, the walls, the house. What his name was? Lawyer
Mr. Copeland.
Copeland.
Yeah.
And he admire everything there. And even your mother was helping us. And she was doing the fireplaces, and he admired her. He took her over us. He went to her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time there. Stayed there a long time.
So back, I think we skipped over. Well, back to the question: how advanced or how do you think I am in this craft?
Oh,
how good do you think I am?
Oh, you. I'm not saying this just because you're my son, but you got it.
Yeah,
yeah, you got it. You learned very fast. When I looked around, I didn't know you had advanced that much. But the only thing I could do is I wanted to pat you on the back, but I better not do it because you might take it another way. But you were so good. Yeah, you was. I was thrilled to death. I was, and I telling everybody. They said, he too young. I said, no. I said, yeah, he too young, but he got it. He got it now, and it's unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Yeah. I didn't go that fast. Right. I was a mile. Man, you take them big hands, and you had everything. I mean, my dad used to look at you, and he said, you know what? You're a big fella, ain't you? You used to be all on it, man. You seen the big hands you got it. I said, yeah, he do, man. He come from, I said, his other grandmama is some big people. Right. Yeah, they some big people. And you took on your mama's side. Right.
Do you think I'm better than you?
Well, I think about that sometimes. I think about that sometimes, and I say, he's good, but I don't think he can make it. I say, I don't think he can make it.
Yeah.
But you good now, but I say, I don't think he can make it, but you very good. That's what my daddy used to tell me.
Yeah.
He said, okay, son, you good. I got to give you credit, but I don't think you can beat me.
Yeah.
It's just a thing, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I tell people all the time, I'm gonna be straightforward.
Yeah.
I think I am.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because of the knowledge and the other tools that's out there today and the things that I'm able to do that you couldn't do back then.
Right.
But when it comes to wisdom, you kill me all day.
Right.
Because I had a house one time, I don't know if you remember, I did this house and that floor would not dry. It would not dry. It had been about a week and that floor would not dry. And a floor dry every day.
Right.
So I was like, shucks, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I called you and you were like, come get me. So I came and got you. And we went over there, and you walked through the house, and you say, go get me that sawdust. So I went and got the sawdust, and from a bag that, from sanding the floor. And you took it, you threw it all over the floor, and then I'm watching you do this. And then you say, go get your buffer. So I went and got my buffer, and you like start buffing this room, buff that room. So I buffed the whole house out. and then you say, let it be. We'll be back. We'll come back tomorrow. So we
Yeah.
came back tomorrow. It was dry.
That's right.
So I'm looking at this thing like, man. So we came back the next day. We vacuumed, we cleaned up and everything, and we put another coat on, and it went to dry. It was the moisture in the air up under that house. It was like it had rained almost a week, and it went dry, and that's what made it dry. So at that point, I said, no matter how good I am, I still haven't been through some of the things you've been through.
Yeah. Every house is not the same.
Right.
It might look the same, but it's not the same. And I thought it was too. And my dad had told me, say, son, let me tell you one thing. This wood come from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That way, this way, each time. And they just, when they get ready to put it together, they don't ask where it come from.
Right.
It come from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, man. He said, that make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
He said, they're not from the same tree.
Right.
But it looked like, and that settled me down then. And I thought I knew it all, but I did. He said, son, there's so much you don't know.
Right.
So it come right to just like that, just like you had, you had a floor, you put it down, hardwood floor, and we come back, and here a buckle.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I did a school like that one time, the school out here on Copeland Road.
Mm-hmm.
Man, here a buckle. So I say, wow.
Mm-hmm.
He come back to me and said, O'Neal, what done happened? I said, I got to see. Man, I don't know yet. Mm-hmm. And it went down, and it was the moisture. Same way with your floor. Remember you put it back down?
Yeah.
It was a pond
behind that
house.
Yeah.
You see that water under the house, it surfaces up, that moisture come up and make that wood buckle up.
Right.
It can't do nothing but buckle up after it swell a little bit, but you put it back down and it's cool.
Yeah, we came in. You remember we took it up. You say number it from one to the back.
Right.
And we laid everything on top so it could lay down. We left it for 2 days. And in my mind, I'm like, I think I was like 21 at the time, and I'm like, shoot, I don't know if this junk gonna work. So we came back. Everything was flat, like because of the pressure we put down. And then we came back. We started from 87 all the way 87, 86, 85, 84, and we laid it all the way back down like it was, and it worked out.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It'll learn you something. You think you know it all on floors, but man, it's so much.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't been in them years and run into them things, you won't know.
Yeah.
One day you run into it that you ain't got no help.
Right.
You think you know it all then, but that'll sell you down. Because you can't go no further. If you do, you're gonna mess it up. And then you're gonna have to buy with some more wood.
Right.
And it coming out your pocket.
Right.
Not the owner. So the first thing the owner gonna come and say, do you know what you're doing? You better go get some more help to help you. Right. So, it's a funny thing, but you got to go.
Right.
And if you figure something else out, you can spend it money. So
and that's why throughout the years, people, when I go in their homes, not everybody, but I had a few people be looking at me sideways because of the age I am. And they want to, because like when you go in a house and you're doing floors or you're doing cabinets, you finna spend a lot of money.
Right.
So I'm finna pay you $3,500 to come in this house.
And you don't know. You're too young. How you know this at this age?
Yeah.
That's the first thing they'll say. How you know this? Because they used to do that to me.
Yeah.
They say, hey, do like in there, he said, go get your father.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go get him several times before they let me go. And before they said, no, you're too young. Now the lady want me to, but the man said, her husband say, no, you're too young.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do them flows like that.
Right.
He said, who let you? I said, my dad. He said, where's your dad? I told him he was home. He said, I tell you what, guess tomorrow you bring him.
Yeah.
You take off the day and get your father and come back.
Yeah.
That used to make me mad, but that man was right. He was right. I thought I knew everything.
Mm-hmm. And see, that was just like the house I just did. The So she never told me, but I knew she was watching me to make sure I wasn't messing nothing up.
Them ladies gonna watch
Yeah.
you.
So, and I don't never mind it because I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So when you came over there that day, the first thing she told you, she say, "Oh, I heard you was good. I heard you was the best." and I just kept working. I'm shaking my head like, man, how good I got these floors licking.
Yeah.
And you talking about he the best.
Yeah, she give me all that.
Yeah. First time meeting you within 5 minutes.
I know it. She come behind that curtain a little bit, and she repeat what she say, just what you say.
Yeah.
And I say, yes, ma'am. They say I am. They say I am. So, she said, yeah, that's good. I said, yeah. That was funny. You had them clothes looking good though. They did. I walked in, and that's the first thing I seen how good you had it. You know, I was gonna tell you if it wasn't.
Right.
Because I had to tell you, you can't hold back on no flow.
Right. Yeah.
No, you got to be honest. You got to tell just who feeling it hurt, and we got to laugh about it, pray about it, but we got to do it. You got to do it if it ain't right. I never forget one time. I thought I know it all. I had went out on my own, and my dad had said, "Son, do you need me to come?" I said, "No, Dad, I got this." And I did it a whole house. I did 4 rooms and a hall. And I left the windows on, so I went and got my dad. I said, "Dad, look, I did it on my first floor." He said, "Boy, you did all of that. You sure did a good job. This and that, petting me." He said, I couldn't come out. He said, "Close." I put one coat on there, a thinner. He said, "Close your windows." I left just like that. On a clay road over there by the mall. I said, "No, I'm gonna leave it there for the air to get to it to dry." He said, "Close your window, son." I said, "No." We went home. I come back, all that clay was on the floor.
Right.
Because he had followed that part of your thing. I said, "Oh, Lord, I don't want my daddy to see this." I don't want my daddy to see this. But he got out that truck. He got out the truck that day. Yeah. I don't know why. I looked around and he was right there looking at me. He said, "I told you, boy." I had to send the whole house and they didn't get no pay. Okay. Just for that one time. I had to do it twice. Right. The lady said, "Oh, you was so pretty yesterday." But this morning, you got to sand some more. I said, "That's the only way you can get it off." Only way. It hit dry with the polyurethane. That was a mess. And that stopped me from knowing it all. Right. On the floor. Right. I said, "Dad, I'm sorry. I will never. I do everything you tell me." Everything. He was laughing. He said, "Now you got to get in there in that machine." I had to go. So that learned me a lot.
I know one of the biggest things that I do that you taught me about when you getting ready to coat, when you clean that floor, don't coat that day, right? But the next day. And then when I just did a floor. So when I came back the next day, when I'm sweeping, I see a little dust. I said, and if I would have went ahead and stained, that dust would be on top of that.
That's right. It'd have been a part of you. It'd have been in the part of you and the chemical part of your thing. You just got, when you do that, when you start, you got to settle down and let it work. But you got to work with it. Because see, there'll be a lot of dust in the air that you don't even see. It ain't come down yet. You don't come out that room. Right. Go into another room. And that dust is out. And you come back and with your coat, that dust waiting on you. Because you didn't wait. Right. Well, it look good, but it'll fool you.
You know, I'm gonna make you laugh off this one now. So the house that we just last year we did, where when I came over to help you out, it was over there. Yeah. So since you said when I asked you how good you think I am, and when I came and bailed you out, right? Yeah. So what happened was when I came in there, first of all, I bailed you out on the sanding.
Right.
So so I burned the machine, we sanded it, got knocked it out. Yeah. But then I also bailed you out when you got to put a polyurethane because that polyurethane kept bubbling up on you.
Right.
And you remember what I said? I said, because I done been through that before.
Yeah.
I said, it's the brand of polyurethane you're using. And I said, how we gonna whip it? I went and I remixed it. And I did, because I went through that before. I did a house and it kept bubbling up. And I'm like, dang, what I need to do? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna thin this thing out a little bit.
That's right.
And I'm gonna see what it do.
Yeah.
And I remember I thinned it out, and man, it just laid smooth.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I already knew what it needed, because you had put 2 coats on, and it kept bubbling up. But then when I came in, we screened it, and I remixed it, and we laid it, and it went on smooth.
Yeah. I was glad to see you that day. I was glad to see you that day, dog. Yeah, you come on through, man. You did, you come on through. And that same house, she did wrong.
Yeah, she did.
She put some bad stuff on it and messed the floor up, and she didn't tell me till I got there. And my granddaughter helped bail me out.
Yeah, what she did was she did water-based, oil-based, and she mixed it up and she piled it up. It's a bad mix, and the chemical reaction gave out the wrong output. And when you sand, it's gonna eat everything up you bring to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't tell me that till later.
Right.
She said, "Oh, Mr. William, I just got to tell you this." I said, "What?" "I'm gonna tell you what I did." I said, "Why you didn't tell me this at first?" She said, "I was scared you wouldn't help me." She said, "I was scared you gonna turn around and go back home." I said, we too good of a friend,
right?
That do that. We've been together a long time. She said, I was just so scared because I had messed up real bad. She had. So that taught her, she said. She'll never mess with a floor again trying to do it herself.
One of the biggest things, I appreciate everything you taught, man. I'm thankful for it, because when we was kids, like it was like, man, being honest, I never told you, we used to me and Willie used to try to beat you home so we can put our books down and straighten up the room, and we go to the gym, because we knew you were coming to get us to help us work on the floor. And it was like, soon as it was like when you used to catch us there, or you be there waiting on us, it'd be like we riding in the truck and we looking back, everybody playing in the neighborhood, and we going to work, and we like, man, shoot, we want to be out there playing with them. But we learned the trade that took me on forever.
Cool, yeah.
It don't, I bought my own equipment and everything, and it was just like, it don't matter if I do it today, do it tomorrow.
Right.
I can make some money to put in my pocket.
Right. Yeah, you surprised me. You went and got you a very nice machine. And it was up to date, new, and I had never had a brand new machine. Now, I had that old one that my daddy had.
Right.
But he was a man.
Right.
Yeah. It was made of iron, nothing but iron. And he was, man, ain't nothing could beat it. But he was just old.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because he had it 31 years, my daddy. And then I had it 31 years, and he was aged before we got it. So that was the baddest thing I ever seen in my life. It was tough, and the only thing I ever spent on it was $1,750. the 1,700.
Oh, 1,700. Okay.
To remodel it.
Okay.
A general rental remodeled it one time, and that's the only thing I done all them years.
Yeah, they tough.
That is tough. Toughest thing I ever seen.
Right.
In my life. Now I have let it fell off the truck and went back and picked it up twice, and it was still going.
Gotcha.
I couldn't believe it. I said, "Oh Lord!" I forgot to lock my gate. Taking off, hit that ground. Boy, but it would never crack. It was iron. Now these that make the day, I bet you they'll crack.
Right.
I bet they'll crack. They sure will. I appreciate that machine. So God was good to me with that machine. And then I looked around and you had got you one. Man, I was proud. I didn't look at that. I was proud, man. It looked just like it, but way newer. Yeah, I was surprised to see that machine.
And like for me, like right now with the business, I'm finna take it to another level and do different things. And that's the same thing with my son. Like you the second generation. Like granddad was the first, you the second, on the third.
Right.
And if if DJ want it, it'll be fourth. But
Right.
at the same time, I don't push it on him.
Right.
He might he might help.
Yeah.
Like he hand me stuff, he'll do this, he'll do that,
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't push it on him where you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah.
I let him take a feel for it, and I get him in there, but I don't rush him on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so for me, the thing is like with taking it to the next level and doing things differently. So where do you think you went wrong with, or you know what I'm saying, with this trade where you know without a shadow of a doubt you could have been on another level?
Yeah. I could have been on a much bigger level. I had 4 chances in my life. I'm talking about big chances, big contracts. The Fort Stewart, Miami condos, everywhere. They come and wanted me, and I wouldn't go. Alabama, I laid down all of Valdosta State University College gym. They bought it to me. I laid it on. Took 2 months, but we got through.
Right.
And they wanted me to go with them all this. I'd be a big boss, this, that. I wouldn't go, man. I loved it, Valdosta. And that's how I missed all of my opportunities. And I could have been a higher level than I was. And then you come and you went higher than me. I loved that because every generation, they're smarter and they will go higher. They will. Like DJ, if he get it, he going high further than you.
Right.
Because different things and different minds and different opportunities, and you will get it. It'll be there for you.
Right.
Yeah, for me, but I wouldn't take it. I stayed in my hometown, as you can say.
Right.
Yeah, I missed out, but I did good too now. But I didn't. I could have been much bigger, much bigger.
Right.
Now, like you ain't scared to go, cause you got it. You got that up here. You got that knowledge, and you got your bookworm, and you got that college education. You got that, so that means a lot.
Right.
Now that means a lot right there. You could go all over the world with that.
Right.
With all of that college, man. You use it. You do. You very smart, and you can do it. And I give you praise for it. I do.
Thank you.
I really do.
Once again, I'm DeVaris Williams, owner and operator of Glamorous Hardwood Floors. I just wanted to take the time to sit with my dad and just talk about our trade, how we got started, how it started in our family, and where we're going here on out with it. We got big things coming. We want to put people on alert that we're going to do a lot of things in South Georgia and North Florida. And after then, you know, we're going to venture out even more places. But we just want to let you guys know where we came from, what we all about. And we really love what we're doing, and we love taking care of clients and doing things in the right manner. Definitely thank you for chiming in with us, and we appreciate everything. Thank you.
Salute. My crib, I'm standing on principle. I'm standing on business. That check on the way, and I'ma go get it. Respect is the